This is KVUE News Daybreak.
Former President George H.W. Bush back in the hospital this morning, what he's being treated for, and we'll have an update on his condition.
A bathroom bill will be taken up at the Capitol here today, but I'll explain why it's different than the traditional bathroom bill you've been hearing about.
And a local police officer is off the job this morning, what he was caught doing and why his boss is also in hot water.
Good morning and thank you for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak. I'm Brian May.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. It is Wednesday, April 19th, and we begin with some breaking news.
That's right. Breaking news this morning in Bastrop County. Firefighters working to put out the flames at a restaurant there, Ramos Restaurant. Reported about 1:30 a.m. this morning. Firefighters say there's a false ceiling in the building that trapped the fire, making it hard to put the fire out. Right now, the Chestnut Street area between Main and Water Streets closed while fire crews are working on this fire. No word yet on how it started. Thankfully, no one was in the building. No one was hurt. Firefighters say there is extensive damage, though. We'll keep you updated as we get more information out of Bastrop this morning. Let's turn now to what we're tracking for this Wednesday with Erica Lopez. Good morning, Erica.
Hey, guys. Good morning. A warm start to our Wednesday. Current temperatures close to 70 degrees already. Dew points remain on the muggy side in the mid-60s. That's going to be the case for the next several days, actually the rest of our work week. Hour by hour, this is what we're tracking for Wednesday. Decreasing clouds, kicking off your day mostly cloudy into partly cloudy. Keep in mind, we have a 10% chance of rain shower activity all day long. The main concern will be our eastern counties. The reason why we're keeping this in, because light spotty sprinkles could be an issue again for our eastern counties. That's really our main concern for today. Other than that, it's just the humidity and the warmth. And Aviv Reyes has a look at the roads this morning. What's going on, Aviv?
Good morning, Erica. Right. This is a look at your TxDOT cameras here at Mopac at Enfield. You can still see that construction is going on and it will continue until about 6 a.m. this morning. No major accidents to report on this morning. The Austin metro area looks pretty green. All right, so pretty green for your drive times as well. 183 southbound, 45 to Mopac, 7-minute drive, 10 minutes from 45 to I-35. That's it for traffic. Back to the desk.
All right, former President George H.W. Bush is in the hospital this morning getting treated for a mild case of pneumonia. But things are looking up, according to his family spokesperson. Bush had been admitted to Houston Methodist Hospital on Friday after a persistent cough kept him from getting any rest. It's the second time this year for the 41st president to be treated for pneumonia. Back in January, Mr. Bush received treatment for breathing difficulties, and First Lady Barbara got hospitalized for bronchitis. We'll continue to bring you the updates and the latest on the story as soon as we learn more.
At the state capitol today, a House committee will take up a revision of the so-called bathroom bill, keeping cities and school districts from creating policies regulating bathrooms. KVUE's Corey Coffin joins us live at the Capitol to explain how this is different from Senate Bill 6 and who's now supporting this measure. Good morning, Corey.
Well, good morning to you. The language on this bill more vague when it comes to restrictions on bathrooms. Instead of requiring that students use the restroom of their gender at birth, House Bill 2899 just prevents school districts from protecting transgender students who want to use the restroom of their choice. It doesn't actually go so far as to say that schools have to regulate which restrooms they use. The bill says that school districts, cities, and counties can't pass ordinances or policies that protect a class of people from discrimination when it comes to multiple occupancy bathrooms, showers, and changing facilities. Now, the writer of the bill says his intent is to prevent having a patchwork of rules across the state on issues that impact everyone.
House Bill 2899 says, wait a second, let's take a time out here. And if there's an issue that needs to be handled related to discrimination, which is what the charge is in this, then we need to handle that to state level.
Now, Governor Greg Abbott has already talked about this issue. He's been largely mum on the bathroom bill throughout this entire legislative session, but now he's taking a stand saying, quote, I applaud the House and Senate for tackling an issue that is of growing concern. Rep. Simmons is offering a thoughtful proposal. I'll work with the House and Senate to ensure we find a solution and ultimately get a bill to my desk that I will sign into law, end quote. Now, despite its slight differences, this bill is already getting pushback. A group of female business leaders gathered at the Capitol yesterday to protest both this bill and Senate Bill 6, the original bathroom bill, which they say both discriminate against the LGBT community. We're live at the Capitol this morning. I'm Corey Coffin for KVUE News.
Corey, thank you. Now to the special election in Georgia, making national news and even getting the president's attention. Democrats fell just short of winning the conservative stronghold congressional seat held by Republicans since 1979. As Janae Norman reports, this election is very important to the president.
Democrats hoped for a knockout in the battle royale over Georgia's 6th congressional district, looking for the 1-2 punch to take the long Republican-held seat and offer a sign of strength among voters who oppose President Trump.
When President Trump embarrasses our country or acts recklessly, I'll hold him accountable.
But young Democrat Jon Ossoff came up short against a splintered GOP field, failing to reach the 50% threshold to win the 18-candidate primary outright, now headed for a June runoff against leading Republican Karen Handel.
I'm running for Congress because we need to have someone in Congress who is going to be serious about getting the job done.
President Trump offered his support, raging on Twitter that Ossoff would be a disaster in Congress and recording this phone message.
Liberal Democrats from outside of Georgia are spending millions and millions of dollars trying to take your Republican congressional seat away from you. Don't let them do it.
Ossoff's Make Trump Furious campaign fired up the president's critics. Records show Democrats from out of state poured in $8 million worth of support. And overnight, the president taking credit for Ossoff's marginal loss, tweeting, "Despite major outside money, fake media support, and 11 Republican candidates, big R win with runoff in Georgia. Glad to be of help." But the 30-year-old former congressional aide is already looking ahead to June.
Let's show what people power is all about.
Numbers overnight showed the leading Republican, Karen Handel, with just under 20% of the vote. Ossoff had just over 48%, more than the leading 4 Republicans combined. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
All new this morning, the North American Aerospace Defense Command says the 2 Russian bombers were intercepted off the coast of Alaska. U.S. officials say it happened about 100 nautical miles south of Kodiak Island Monday night. 2 U.S. fighter jets from an Air Force base in Alaska intercepted the Russian bombers for a short time. They flew alongside the bombers as they turned away. Officials say this is the first time that Russian aircraft have approached North America in some time.
Well, happening today, family and friends will come together to honor a University of Texas student killed in an accident earlier this week. According to the Chi Omega sorority, Nancy Jane David died after a crash between her moped and a school bus on the 700 block of Manor Road. This was on Monday. Police have yet to confirm if David is in fact the 22-year-old victim who died in the crash. A candlelight vigil will be held tonight at 8 o'clock. It'll take place in front of the UT Tower. The vigil is open to the public. And police say the bus wreck involved in this accident is actually a personal vehicle owned by an individual, and it does not belong to a school district. They're still trying to figure out what led up to the wreck, but they say the road was wet that night, and that may have played a role in the accident. Go ahead, Brian.
Thank you. An Austin police officer out of a job, and his sergeant has been suspended after the officer apparently showed up to work with alcohol in his system. Police say Officer Michael Cuellar operates a breathalyzer machine. In order to get it working, it needs to have a self-administered test showing his blood alcohol level over 0.06 at the time of the test. Police memos showed he admitted to drinking the night before, and he had driven himself to work before the test. He told his sergeant, Steve Urias, who has been suspended now for 60 days. Officials say he violated policy by not telling the department about the incident when it happened. He faces termination if he violates any policies in the next year. We here at KVUE want to remind you to drive alive, Austin. Don't drink and drive. You can find resources for a safe ride home on our website, KVUE.com.
The city leaders have rolled out their new zoning map draft, and Austinites can now see how the changes will affect their neighborhoods. Take a look here. Code Next is the city's initiative to revise the land development code, which determines how land can be used throughout Austin, including what and where buildings can be constructed. The maps on your screen compare existing and proposed zoning districts. City officials will meet and discuss the initiative over the next 2 months, beginning this Saturday. To access the maps and for more information on the potential changes around the city, go to our website, KVUE.com. Families out in the Houston area are cleaning up this morning after floods damaged several homes and cars on Tuesday. Look at the streets here. Water covering multiple front yards, and inside some homes, well, you could see the entire living room filled with several inches of water.
Cars, too, with water in them, it looked like. My goodness. Not around here. Pretty dry for us, right, Erica?
Yeah, thankfully the majority of that moisture stayed along the coast. We still have a few isolated showers around the Houston metro area, but mainly throughout the Gulf of Mexico. Those are just light, spotty showers. A lot of that low-level moisture, though, is in our region in the form of just really humid conditions. It didn't allow our temperatures to cool down much. That's why we're still at 68 degrees for the Austin metro area this morning. The Hill Country stayed in the 60s overnight also. Here's what we're tracking for your rush hour forecast. A mostly cloudy start to our day will decrease cloud coverage to a partly cloudy day. But then we're talking about a 10% chance of some spotty showers, mainly for our eastern counties, and it's all associated with that Gulf moisture. I think the eastern counties will have the best chance of sparking up some of that rain shower activity. Here's our KVUE photo of the morning from Freddie Belize. He spotted a double rainbow near Round Rock yesterday. Pretty amazing sight. You guys can share your photos with us. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Use the hashtag KVUE, and we'll be able to feature them during daybreak. Guys, back to you.
You get 2 wishes if it's a double rainbow.
Oh, I say you do, and you get 2 pots of gold.
Ooh, nice. A lot of you are already getting ready to head on your vacation for this summer, and there are tons of flight deals out there that can help save you some money this summer. A great way to save some green. Try booking flights before May the 20th. Historically, airfare will jump after May 20th. Tends to rise even more after June 15th. If you're planning on a late summer trip, talking about really late summer, flight prices will drop again after August the 30th. Remember, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays tend to be the cheapest days to fly.
A Texas man burned by his iPhone.
And it wasn't even plugged in at the time. The common thing a lot of us do that could be putting us at risk. And he's the biggest star on Fox News, and he's facing multiple sexual assault allegations this morning, while some are saying the network is preparing to let Bill O'Reilly go.
Oh. And we'll check back in with these guys. The Kissing the Car competition's still going on. They're still puckering up, Brian.
Yeah.
We're going to see how many people are hanging on for their chance at a free car. At one point, I didn't even know if that was live because they're so still. I thought it was a video.
They're comatose. They've been going at it for a while.
Poor guys. They're probably tired.